Izzeldin Abuelaish, thank you. It's a real pleasure and honor for me to have this opportunity to ask you a few questions about Je ne haïrai pas, I shall not hate, the theater play by Denis Lojol with Deborah Wash. So I will, maybe you might be kind of surprised of what will be my first question, but how do you feel? What's your state of mind today?
My state of mind today, and even when I arrived to see the play, what do I want to see? What is the message? How can I see it? So I saw the play. It was beyond any expectation. It reminded me, it took me back to that moment, or the moments of the loss of my mother, to bring them back to me, to life, to talk to them, to my mother, to my wife Nadia, the journey to death, my mother, to whom I am in debt. I owe her my success, and to Nadia, and then the killing of my daughters. So at this theater, they kept them alive. Not only in my mind, in my heart, in my souls, but in the minds, in the hearts, in the souls of the Belgian people who came to see the play, to touch their hearts, to trigger a change in their mind. What can they do to live with a message? Maybe with tears, but tears of hope. What can they do to make a change? And to remember these innocent, lovely daughters for whom they are and what they did and why they were killed. And that's the message. While I'm watching it, I was talking to my daughters to say to them, I didn't forget you. I didn't give up. Your message is spreading. Your names are spreading everywhere. And that's my mission in life, and that's the oath I gave to my daughters when I saw them killed in front of me. I will never give up. I will never forget them till I meet them one day with the big gift that their holy souls, noble, a human, a blood, wasn't waste. It made a difference, a positive difference in others' lives, to inspire them, to encourage them, to lead the people to look around, to ask, to learn, to connect, to act, to think of others. But which means, it's with this kind of actions, this play, and the theater, it has a role to spread wisdom, to expose and to show the truth, what is happening in our world, because the truth is needed. And the stories are not the stories that we read and pass. Stories are there to learn from them, to feel them, to live them, and to use them in our life. So the means are used, it's the wisdom. It's the kind, courageous words and actions and the good deeds. Not the bullet, not the violence, not the racism, not the discrimination, or the incitement or hatred. It's about knowledge and the bridging the gap between people.
Yeah, but how do you find the strength to do that? One might think, you know, you're kind of a survivor of something that, what is as tragic as losing a child? You've been through that.
It's not easy to lose a child. The natural, even any loss is a tragedy, any loss. But even the odd is the father to see his children killed in front of him. Always the natural is the children to live and to see their parents passing away. But to see my daughters killed in front of me to become parts, their blood to spread everywhere, their brain. I wanted even to recognize them. Where is Bisan? Where is Mayar? Where is Aya? Where is Noor? Mayar was decapitated. I can't recognize these beautiful, lovely daughters who were full with the plans, with the dreams. I am proud of them. Their teachers were proud of them. They never hated anyone. They were fighters and advocates for peace. They were loved by everyone. Their teachers were fighting to have them in their classes. I taught them to be human and to help humanity. So when I saw them in front of me, that I don't want anyone on earth to face what did I see or I faced. I know they were killed for nothing they did, and there was no reason to be killed. Because we need to seek the truth about what is happening and to understand. But I fully believe they are only far away from me. They are traveling. They are in a peaceful place there.
How did you find the strength?
I found the strength, my faith. My faith is very helpful. At the moment I saw my daughters killed in front of me, and most of the Palestinians were on daily basis are killed just to become numbers. 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 1,200, 1,300. Human beings are not numbers. They are not the statistics. It's immoral, it's unethical to see human beings as numbers. They are people. They are the most holy creature by God created. They are people with hopes, plans, dreams, names, families, parents, a future. That's when we start to see the human being as people. They have faces. So I will never accept my daughters to be just numbers. I lost faith in humanity because as a medical doctor, when I see someone is suffering or bleeding or in pain, I rush to stop the bleeding or to help. And to think of others. When you see someone who is in need of help, give hand. When you see someone who is thirsty and you have water, share with them. When you see someone who is hungry, give food to the people. When you see people who are seeking peace, support them. When there are people who are asking for their freedom, advocate for their freedom, because their freedom is from your freedom. I lost faith in humanity who was watching. Until now we see it. The world is watching what is happening. Sitting among the audience, watching, doing nothing. I will never be among the audience. Don't accept to be among the audience. Be inside and give hand to support. So at that moment, I directed my face and asked for help from the one who is awake all of the time, from the one who is hearing, who is seeing, who is feeling, and who gives support when others are not. So I said, oh God, oh Lord, give me the strength, give me the support. So my faith helped me. Number two, my education. My education is very helpful. My profession as a medical doctor, it helped me. When I practice medicine, if a patient dies, I don't stay there. I have to move to the next patient. But I have to learn the lessons, why the first patient died, and to prevent any more deaths. And that's what I am doing, to prevent any tragedies. And also my life experience. As a Palestinian, I am tested on daily life. The Palestinians are tested every day. We have these tragedies, and we may expect another tragedy, but we need to keep surviving, to keep moving towards our goal, to achieve our goal, justice and the freedom for our people. Because as Einstein said, life will never stop. We have to keep moving, not to sink heavy. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep balanced, we must keep moving. I kept moving faster, stronger, more determined, just looking forward.
It's interesting you said that you once lost faith in humanity, but still the title of your book and the title of the play is I Shall Not Hate. How do you do such a thing then, losing faith in part of humanity, I guess, and not hate?
There is difference between I shall not hate and losing faith in humanity, which was transient at that moment, but hope is reviving. And I see it with the people who come to see the play and to be impacted and to take action. After the play, I meet with people, I interact, I feel the touch. They have no words, and even sometimes silence is an answer. I see it in their tears. The other day when the student, they came to see the play, and Dennis's son, he was sitting there. He was crying. I am sure his cries were honest and sincere. He felt it, and I am sure he carries it with him to say, this is not acceptable. I will take action. I will advocate. I will do something. But I shall not hate. In order to impact and to move forward, I should never be weak. I should never be heavy. I should never be overloaded with the poison and the heavy weight of hatred. So I should be lighter. I should be strong. I shall not hate. It means I will never be broken. I will never be defeated. The opposite. I have to take the challenge with the wound that I am ready to transform it into positive energy. The hatred that you are expecting me to hate, to transform it into a power to move me in the right direction to achieve the goal. It's the justice, it's the freedom, and to transform this tragedy into positive action. And the positive action of that, immediate after the tragedy, once it was broadcasted live, the second day, it was announced unilateral ceasefire. So it saved others' lives. But do we need someone to be killed in order to save others? We need to save for the sake of saving. The second, how I transformed it, to establish Daughters for Life Foundation in memory of my daughters for education of girls and young women from the Middle East, where to support education of girls who can carry and achieve the dreams of my daughters without any discrimination, for young women from the Middle East, Palestinians, Israelis, Jordanians, Syrian, Lebanese, Muslims, Jewish, Christians. It's about young women whom I believe in, and I see in these young women we are supporting, I see in them Bisan, Mayar, Aya, and Noor. It's not about the biology. It's about the humanity that one time I lost faith in them. So Daughters for Life is coming and established to spread light, to spread hope, and that we are able to create life from death, to spread hope and inspire the people from pain and suffering.
How did Denis Lojol convince you to step in this project?
First, I would like to thank all the team of the Théâtre de Poche, in particular, of course, Olivier. Once I met with him, he said, I will take it. I am touched by this story. I will do it. We have to do it. And of course, Denise, Deborah, and all of the team, it's the team effort It's not one's effort to touch them and to transform it and to say to me, Izzeldin, your daughters, your people are not alone. We are with you. We will keep and carry the spirits, the hopes, the plans of your daughters. And we will join you in your mission, in spreading your message. So I have no words to thank each of them for keeping my daughters alive and transforming the story into a real play and the impact on the people who came to watch it.
You mentioned Deborah Wash, who was actually playing all the female roles, characters in your life and in the play. It must be something very strong for you to see all the women, some of them you lost, most of them you lost, impersonated in Deborah. So what kind of feeling did you have the first time you saw her on stage?
First I came, I don't know that. I thought at the beginning it will be more than one actor. But when I came, knowing nothing, even about the script, about the content, how it's going to run, and to find that Deborah is performing as mono drama and taking the role of the women's side in my life, which is the most influential and the core actors in my life. And it needs to take another aspect in a creative, innovative way. And that's another message that I believed. How they took the female, the women's side in my life to impact me. It touched me so much. It resonates with me, with the message I believe in, that we all are in debt to women. And only women can make the world the better one. To endure this world, to make it a better, peaceful, healthy, free, just, equal, and accountable world is the duty, function, and role of women. The more we see women taking active role, the world will be much better than the current one. Women, and some people, they ask, who are women? They think women who are sitting at home cooking. Women are the ones who created us, who give life, who nurture life, who sacrifice. Women are the incubator. Women are the ones who sacrifice and give. That's why I am happy and satisfied. And that's the message to send to Bisan Mayar, Aya, Noor, Nadia, my wife, and my mother, Dalal, that they are represented and their role in my life was performed by Deborah in Brussels, in the Théâtre de Poche, and the people to watch it and to be proud of the Palestinian women. Because I believe women are the hero behind the survival story of humanity. And that's the message we need the world to understand. When we start to value and to give value, role, a real, sincere, authentic role to women, we all benefit from it. Women are the ones who cook, and they are the last to eat. Women who even they work hard, even they don't complain. They give with love, with passion.
Years have passed now since the tragedy of your life. You've published the book. Now there is this play in Brussels. things haven't changed that much between Israel and Palestine. What's your point of view about that?
Yeah, of course, we need to ask why it's not changing. In medicine, if I have a patient and I treat the patient, I think I am treating the patient and the patient is not improving, what do? I have to ask myself why the patient is not responding to the treatment. Mostly, the diagnosis is wrong. Once I have a wrong diagnosis, then the treatment will be wrong. So I have to pause and to do re-evaluation. What is happening there? Why? And I believe what is wrong. Between the Palestinians and the Israelis, what is happening? The Palestinian people as a nation and the Israelis as a nation living there, with all of the history, but the Palestinians are occupied and the Israelis are occupier. That's the diagnosis. There is an occupation. There is a colonization and Palestinians colonized. So in order to move forward, what will be the treatment and the solution for occupation is ending the occupation. What is the treatment of the colonization is to end the colonization. What is the treatment of someone hungry? To give them food. So that's the diagnosis. Ending the occupation, ending the colonization is the way for the freedom of all. And it needs the effort, the treatment from whom? From all to come together because they have a stake and interest in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. European Union, United Nations, international community to work towards ending the occupation and colonization where the world will benefit from it. When the Palestinians are free, the Israelis are free as equal and the free nations, the world will benefit from it. And it's the responsibility of the international community. And not to allow anyone or no one in the world is allowed to violate a human rights conventions, a human rights, international law. That's the way if we want to have order in this world. When we come to the play, Dennis, he speaks to the public. What are the regulations? No one should violate the regulations concerning the masks, distancing, no one to put the light or to speak. If they are violating it, what are we going to do? If someone is violating the regulations in a theater, what do? Kick them out. There is punishment. There is order. And that's the way. We need accountability. If you violate any regulation, you have to pay the price of it. And that's the way. And it's not for the sake of punishment, for the sake of learning the lessons and to protecting the rights of others.
There's a new government in Israel. Do you have hope that things might change now after 12 years of the same prime minister with the same kind of politics? And the second question that's linked to the first, isn't politics part of the hate sometimes? Because your book, the play, the title is I Shall Not Hate. Isn't politics part of the hate? Because dividing people is much more simpler than trying to put them together, to get them together. And sometimes you even have interest in separating people because that's what makes you elected. So what do you think about that?
The first question, the new government, that we have a new government, the change in the government, it's called change government. Change government with a change in people. What do we need to witness? We need to witness a change in the context and in the politics, not a change in the people with their thoughts, the same thoughts. So I believe the new government is not different from the previous ones. It's only a change of currency. It's a change of money. We changed dollar with euro, euro to yen. So nothing changed. We want to witness a leadership that is risk takers and willing to change in the politics to work on the problems that we discussed, the occupation, the colonization, to end it, and to realize one thing, that Palestinians, they deserve the freedom to have equality, justice, freedom for them, side by side to the Israelis. It's not by settlements, by oppressing and intimidating, humiliating, or home demolitions or arresting. In order to be free, you need to practice certain human values. I say to them, whatever they accept for themselves, to accept it for the Palestinians. If they want to be free, their freedom should be linked to the Palestinians. That's what I believe in this government. I am not hopeful about it because even the composition of this government is not around one agenda. That's why I am concerned. But anything in life, it has a start and it has an end. We have before the previous government, Netanyahu, he came and he left. And this government will come and will leave. Let us hope for a new government with a change in the mentality, in the attitudes, in the politics to realize the facts and the main challenges, which is the occupation and the colonization, and to work on it, on ending this occupation.
So you agree that hatred is part of the problem and is part of politics?
That's why. Hatred, what do we mean by hatred? Hatred for me is a self-destructive, contagious disease. Result of what? It's the result of exposure. Like COVID. COVID, how can I get COVID? How can I get COVID? By being exposed to someone who is infected. So hatred is the result of exposure to harm. What kind of harm? Number one, incitement by political leaders. Racism by political leaders. Discrimination by political leaders. Fear and fear-mongering they are using to promote a political agenda. All of these triggers, these are triggers for hatred. So political leaders, they are accountable to promote it for their own agenda.
So what would you tell people who here in Belgium, everywhere around the world say, but it's also what Palestinian leaders do, triggering the hatred?
Thank you so much for this great question. It's highly needed. Most of the problems, they stem out from ignorance, arrogance, misinformation, stereotyping, the media, which is biased media, and its injustice, its bigotry. When you blame the victim and direct the victim, even the victim, when the victim cries out of pain, and to say to the victim, why are you crying? Why are you screaming? Like for me, when a woman in labor is going to deliver a baby and she is screaming of anger, of pain, and to ask her, why are you screaming? Why are you crying? It's a crime to blame someone who is in pain and even not to express himself or herself. This is important, so we need to seek the truth. Palestinians, they don't hate anyone. They are people who appreciate and value life. My daughter, when she was wounded after the killing of her sisters, she was wounded 16th of January, 2009. Her birthday was the 20th of January. What did we do? We celebrated the birthday. In spite of the pain, Palestinians, they want to live and to give life to others. But the question to those people whom I understand them. I care about them. I ask them, learn more about the Palestinian people. Know the Palestinian people, get the right information about the suffering and what are they suffering, what are they passing through. Instead of blaming the victim, ask the perpetrator, what are you doing? Why do you trigger the hatred in the Palestinians through the daily acts of torture, of intimidation, checkpoints, house demolishing, ethnic cleansing, occupation, unsecure life of the Palestinians? And I will say it in one statement. Jesus, peace be upon him, said, seek the truth, and the truth sets you free. We should never live in denial or following the fake news or the lies. Once we see the truth, we need to advocate for it. The first victim of fake journalism is the truth. And this is one of it. What you mentioned, some to blame the victim of sending hatred, not asking what the perpetrator did, or other leaders in this world who are completely biased or with double standards of justice. I say to them, justice, it has one color, white or black. It's not going to be today white, tomorrow black, after tomorrow green, the other day will be red. Based on what? Based on political interest or political agenda, or based on the color or ethnicity or the political interest or the economic interest. So that's the way we need to speak about.
One last question,
yes,
Izzeldin. What is your favorite part of the play?
Of course, my favorite part of the play, which reflects my life, all of it, is close to my heart. But the message that I said to my mother, my knees don't hurt me anymore. I am standing. I am stronger. I am moving forward. The second message, that our home was reconstructed and built again. And that's my mission in life, to move faster, stronger, with the minimum pain, to reconstruct and build, and not to look backwards, but to move forward. I can't wait to the moment to go to the sea, to the same place where my daughters wrote their names, to write them again, to the moment to go to their graves, where I am planning in July to go. The first thing, before going to my home, I go to their graves to inform them, to tell them all of the news, what I did for them and what are we doing for the last 3 years since I visit them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm so honored that I